Vegeta? If you don't mind me asking, what are we in for?
You ever watch Power Rangers?
No,
Ninja Turtles?
no,
Sailor Moon?
no,
Beetleborgs?
no,
VR Troopers?
no,
Samurai Cyber Squad?
no.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills?
Oh yeah!
God damn it!
You will bow down before me!
Right up in the crotch, man. Hello and welcome to Big Screen Heroes. I'm Mark, and well, it's another solo episode, guys. Due to issues, mainly mine, pretty much entirely mine. We've had to upgrade, so I'm giving it a go this time. Charles did one a few weeks ago. It's my turn, and once again we're doing another TV show. Just so it's, well, say us, not me talking for 2 hours, but this time just an hour. Don't know how well this is picking up, but I'm not feeling too great today, so it's going to be awkward either way. Not really confident about doing this on my own. My voice sounds like it's been through, well, more than usual. But today, with its release, but what date are we on? The 11th. Yeah, so a week ago, Nettflix aired the 3rd season of their Voltron TV show, and it's a pretty good show. Not gonna lie, I've been watching it enough since day one. Season 2 hadn't aired when I started watching, so but I don't know how long it actually been on Nettflix for by the time I actually clicked on it. But I actually really like it. So there's not really much dilly-dallying I need to really do here. At the moment, well, for any other listeners, you kind of know how this works. We're going to be watching. You can use this as a commentary track to listen along and watch with, or hopefully this kind of works as a podcast. So if you don't have Nettflix to watch, because at the moment this is the only platform you can watch this on, I believe. At least. Hopefully this does work as a podcast, as more of a descriptive narrative in a sense of it, or at least was descriptive in the sense of it's got fun facts and trivia. But I've kind of prolonged this longer than I would like to. Oh wait, might be having some technical difficulties. No, do we? No, it's all good. Computer seems to freeze for a bit. So I have currently Nettflix loaded up. Chapter 1, Rise of Voltron. About to click play. Hopefully a little timer should be showing, indicating when to actually sync up. But I'll do a little countdown anyway, so I'm going to click the play button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yes. So yeah, I've currently got it muted with subtitles on, so I can at least get a gist of what the plot is, so if anything comes up I can kind of talk with. You know, the same old usual. No, I was kind of worried at first when I heard this was coming. Never. The only history I have with Voltron is sketches from Robot Chicken, and that's it. I don't even think I knew who he was before I'd seen them, and I definitely didn't know anything of him because of it. Just the fact that Voltron existed, and it was sort of a knockoff Power Rangers. Essentially, maybe it was the other way around, but like I didn't even know if it was a cartoon or a live action show like Power Rangers. But when I heard that DreamWorks were doing one, and it was with Nettflix, I was a bit, because I think when I at least heard they were making it, I don't believe I'd actually seen a Nettflix original show. So I didn't really have like the context behind like what they were trying to achieve, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Didn't have the context of what the quality of the people behind it could achieve, even. But when it came out, I obviously missed a few weeks of it. Watched it, I'd heard good things from people, so I said I'll give this a go, and I just fell in love with it. This is a great TV show, and what I did learn is that it's not only this DreamWorks and Netflix, which so far have produced some good quality stuff. DreamWorks is kind of 50-50, in my opinion, especially their TV show department, which is probably less than 50-50 actually. The fact that it was the people behind the Avatar series, and okay, I didn't like Last Airbender in the sense of I couldn't finish it. I've tried, it's not bad, it's just too childish for me. But I loved Korra, the Legend of Korra series, the sequel to Last Airbender. And despite the fact that a lot of people had issues with that, I thought it was amazing. Obviously, I didn't have the context of what Last Airbender had done before it. Because apparently it gets great, but the first few episodes of season 1 I couldn't get through. So to see this more adult series start immediately in the sense with Korra, I thought it was the best thing I'd ever seen. And then, well, this isn't as an adult. I think this gets the blend of which I was kind of expecting Last Airbender to get, where it's adult action mixed with not childish in the sense of simple jokes that are just it's safe and generic, that they can say, oh, anyone can laugh at this. They are in a sense, but they don't seem to treat the audience like idiots. So I think this is, despite the fact that it's a completely different franchise, I think this is definitely a great sequel to Korra from this team. Because you get a lot of the same vibes. It's all likable characters. It's like currently on screen we've got Lance, Hook, and Pidge, and to me, Lance and Hook are just what the name? Oh, it's been forever since I've actually seen Korra. Bolin and his brother. Oh, what's his name? He was a firebender. I just get that. Well, trying to the Google machine. It's the episode of the show where Marc gets out his phone and sits quietly and types away to get answers that he should know. But yeah, I get a sense of like whatever that their characters' names were in Korra. I get a sense there's quite a lot copied over, but not in a more of an echo rather than a direct copy, and I like that because I do some of my favourite characters in all the television. The fact that some of the characteristics. Oh my god. It's not even the fact that I'm sick now, it's just my words can't come out. But I do like how they keep some of this characteristics alive within this show, with these characters. And I really like how these characters all evolve. I mean, we're kind of just introduced to everyone straight off the bat. I think the only character, technically we have just seen him, but we haven't been introduced, is Lance. Wait, no, Wait, sorry. Lance is the blue line, Keith is the red line. We haven't seen Keith yet. I was only watching the show the other day and already forgot everyone's name. That's not a good sign. Especially as I'm recommending this highly. Yeah, it's only like the space characters, like Princess Allura, and that we haven't met yet. Because obviously we meet Pidge, Lance, and Hook right here, currently in this scene. We met the Black Lion Paladin. Oh my god, I'm terrible at this today. Why am I so terrible today? My brain just doesn't want to work. No, it's not Sven. Sven's Shiro. Oh my god, that took forever. Remember? Yeah, we met Shiro at the beginning, and obviously we learn like a bit of a taste of his backstory, like what's happened to him at the start of all this, and like get a sense of where he's come from when we meet up with him later on. Spoiler alert, that guy who was shown comes back later. But like, I do guess I like the dynamic of like how everyone's connected. They're all connected through this weird space. Bro, I don't actually know what's going on because we never revisit Earth again to know what year this is in, what currently is going on here. Like, is this in the future in the sense of everyone, they're trying to go to space and they're sending kids? Is this an really extreme space camp? There's all these military people, so I'd assume not for that second one, but like, I'd assume future because of the weird sci-fi goggles they have. Oh no, binoculars even. But for like pretty much as soon as they find the line, the blue line, they go straight into space, and we never revisit Earth in the series. I assume we will at one point, obviously. I'd assume the Zarkon Empire will decide, we'll just take the fight to Earth. But like, I assume that'd be at least season 4, season 5, possibly. But I really like the dynamic they set up between everyone. Like, everyone pretty much comes from this space camp in a sense, except for Shiro. But even he has, he's kind of revered as this legend. I guess maybe he did. It's been a long time since I've actually seen this. There's Shiro with his new white hair. That makes him the badass of the group. But I assume maybe he came from this. Yeah, because Lancer's there, so he recognised that Shiro. But I can't remember why they know how they know who he is. I understand. We know how Pidge knows who he is because of revelations revealed with that character, which I called. I'm not going to spoil it because that's Pidge's character arc is revealed. It's either in the next episode or the third episode, I believe. Well, on Netflix, obviously this episode is technically a few episodes all merged together into like a sort of a mini movie. But the reveal with Pidge's character, like that character's backstory, that I sort of called in this episode, but it was weird because we weren't given a confirmation straight away, and I didn't believe it was meant to be a quote-unquote twist. It's not really, because it's kind of addressed early, but because it's not addressed in the first episode, I assumed, oh, I must have called that wrong. But no, it was weird. It's like, oh, that's what they're taking this character, I think. Yeah, okay, so we've just seen Keith then. Okay, so wait, sorry, did we just see Keith? No, we must do, because Lance knows who he is, and already they're rivals. But he knows, because I've got vague. It was about maybe a year ago I actually watched this for the first time, so I've got mostly vague recollections of how the show takes up, like what happens in the show. But like, I can remember all stuff that happened from season 2 and 3 because I've seen them more recently, but season 1 just pulling up complete blank. No, okay, so we're definitely in the future because that's obviously we don't have that yet. That weird space hoverbike thing playing, helicopter, Majigamaroo. So yeah, let's see, how far are we into this? 11.5 minutes, and we finally get all the team together, besides from the alien side of the team. And going back to it, I do really like the dynamic each one brings to the table. we do sort of get stereotypes of like teams, which every show, it's a kid show, despite the fact it's got some more adult action set pieces and themes, but it's a kid show through and through that's suitable for like 6 and up. I would say like 5 maybe the action might be a bit too intense, but who cares? The kid's gonna like what they like, and there's no bad language or no gore. There's some implications, like Shiro's lost an arm, but like horrific battles. Okay, Shiro's got a big scar on his nose, but there's no blood. There's no seeing of lost limbs to be like, oh my god, this you can't show a kid this. But like, I can see like some parent coming across like, oh no, this is true violence because Voltron's destroying loads of ships, despite the fact they're all piloted by robots, so that makes it all okay. Taking it back to the 80s where this show came from, where everyone was a robot because that was okay to kill. Oh, I did like this bit. Like, they're obviously currently realising that they've got to go find. They've got to go find the Blue Lion. When I first heard this, I thought that they were all going to be on Earth for some reason. Like this bit with the maps labelled out with 3 X's. I thought, all the lines of. But I did like that only one's on Earth, that they actually are scattered throughout the galaxy. I don't like that it's a bit rushed, despite the fact this is technically 2 to 3 episodes in length. But it is a bit. Now we all know, we found one line, and now we instantly know where they all are, so let's get to it. So yeah, I was getting back to got a bit distracted there. Yeah, that's unfortunately one thing that we're going to get from this episode. There's going to be a lot of rambling and a lot of unfinished sentences. Because I like to get distracted and to trail off. But yeah, getting back to what I was originally talking about, the character dynamics that each one brings to the group. Like, I like that they set up like a sort of rivalry between Keith and Lance, which is very reminiscent of like a rivalry in the sense of Gary Oak, and Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, or Matt and Ty from Digimon. That it's like, oh, they're gonna have to bicker with each other every other episode, and they're just never gonna get along, and they're gonna realise that they've got to work together to beat the enemy. Like, it sets up like that, and there's episodes down the line where they act like they've been doing that from day one. But I like that they just get on with the job. They might not see eye to eye, but they're just like, yeah, we're in this together, we need to work together. And it's like, we'll just set aside our differences and we'll argue another day. But I could do like how, Shiro's the cool, calm, collective leader. Keith's the lone wolf. Like, he doesn't care for anyone, despite the fact his action is he runs into this quarantine station to rescue someone, so that clearly goes against what these try to set up later. But like, they do keep touching on that he's the lone wolf, despite the fact they don't really there aren't too many episodes that focus on him just on his own. At least that I recall, at least. Maybe there was more in season 1 that I kind of skipped over because maybe that was a bit more boring than other episodes. So sorry, it's been a long day, just got out of work, so I decided to record this immediately to get this out on time. But yeah, we got Lance, who's the cool, like, crazy one in a sense. Not crazy, but it's like he'd be more associated with the Michelangelo of the group. Yeah, Shiro's to be Leonardo, Keith would be the Raphael, Lance is the Michelangelo, Peter would be the Donatello, and Hooks, like more the pacifist. I'll get in the fight, but he's pacifist in the sense that not that he doesn't want to fight, it's just more rather do anything else, which I kind of like in this, but it does get a bit annoying at times. but it's a trope. You know, it's despite the fact it's an American show, it is an anime. In a sec, it's an American anime that's inspired by a Japanese anime, so you're gonna come along with, like, Japanese team tropes mixed with the American team trope. So there's a lot of stereotypes, but the way they handle them is what I really like about this show. A lot of it is actually quite original. At the same time, it is hard to explain, especially while just talking over it. Obviously, ideally, I'd hope that people would have watched this first beforehand, before really going into like what my opinions on it all are and all that. Like, what was that? I don't know. But there's a noise behind me then. There's a ghost in here. Thank God I'm not alone today. I can talk to someone. Yeah, so ideally, hopefully people would have watched this first to actually get a sense of what the show's like, because this is actually a really good show, despite the fact I do feel like, sort of, despite the fact I'm praising it, I'm bringing up some of the more negative aspects of it, in the sense of like it's kind of predictable, it's kind of follows a lot of team tropes and all that, but it is, the way it does handle it is very good. Like, the animation's great for it. Like, I was very worried when I saw that the Lions and Voltron were all going to be in CGI, where the rest was going to be in 2D animation, because they've really got flashbacks to Transformers Energon and Transformers Cybertron, and I did not like those. As a Transformers fan at the time, I did not like those shows because of the art style alone. But the way they've done this, it actually does it does suit the world. And at times you can tell it's CG. The way they've done the cell shading, it's not too distracting, and at times it can actually look like it's like it is a flat image, which is very impressive. So props to them, whoever they are, the Avatar team. Great, we're about 15 minutes in, and already I think I might have run out of stuff to talk about. Oh no, that's not a good sign. Well, it's the risk that comes along with doing a solo episode. But I'd be a bad host if I just let my co-host do it on his own. Just on his own. It's my time to step up. So in fact, I've got about 50 minutes left to kill time. So all I can really do is apologise, guys, and hopefully that don't fill up too much dead air. Oh, I could, like, this is a good action scene. Let's go back to it. I do like how they actually made, like despite the fact I didn't watch the original Voltron, like, after watching this I did actually go back and do my homework, and they have released a few episodes on Nettflix, or at least on UK Nettflix, which is very bare and barren compared to everyone else in the world, I believe. But they did release a few episodes, but it's not in order. It is just like, in a sense of like the creators of this shows their like personal favourite episodes. And I tried watching one of them, and it was so dated that it was a chore to kind of get through, and I couldn't get through it in the end. But I think that's more just a sign of the times, not necessarily the quality of the show. It's just what was great isn't anymore because of advancements in technology and animation and just storytelling in general. Actually, here's another thing. I do like, before I get back to what I was just about to say then, I do like how they did sort of immediately change the team dynamic, because when you see this, pretty much so far our main character is Lance, and I believe that he would be the main character. He gets the most screen time at the beginning of the show. He's the first to get the line. He's kind of like the everyman of the show. Well, I guess except for maybe Shiro and Keith, they kind of, well, him and Hook are kind of like the everyman of the show. Obviously, Pidge is like the brains, Shiro's the great warrior, and Keith's the lone wolf. But it's like you would associate that, based on other tropes of anime and TV shows, that he would be the main character. Like he'd be the one who's like, not necessarily the one who would take charge, because obviously we have leaders in the sense of Shiro here. But I really can't think of what the word is I'm trying to get at. Like, this first few episodes, at least the first, he'd be the main character of the entire show, but he really does take kind of a back seat, but in the sense of everyone gets like everyone gets their own equal episode. Everyone's kind of focused on equally as a team. It's just this first episode kind of decides to mainly focus on Lance. As well as like the team as a whole, but like he gets like a big long, mostly solo part of this episode to himself. Sorry if you hear clicking up. I'm watching this, but yet sort of trying to get the thumbnail and like editing for this show, for this episode, all done at once, so this can literally be uploaded immediately. So this could become a sort of commentary on Voltron Legendary Defender mixed with commentary on Marc trying to fix his computer because it decides to be really slow today, just like every other day. But yet I will not learn. So yeah, so they've just finally arrived on well, I don't know what the planet's called, but it's the at the Arteian Castle. And not gonna lie, I'm not too fussed on. Actually, but the butler's guy, Corban, is it? Korobik. So I've never actually picked up his name. Not gonna lie. Everyone else I kind of remember every now and then. Like the ginger guy with the big mustache stuff. Like he's one of my favourite characters in the show. I never remember his name. Yeah, he's kind of like the only one I'm interested in, because Princess Ahura, she's like, well, she's not your typical princess in like oh my god, words, why are you escaping me today? Yeah, she's not your typical like damsel in distress princess like your Princess Peach, or like princesses in that vein. Like she's more of like a Zelda in some like the more later games. Like she's more like the take charge kind of thing. Like she'll jump into the fight. Yeah, she's more of a Zelda from Smash Bros. Especially in season 3. But some of her decisions just, obviously the show kind of shows that she's making foolish decisions, but it doesn't mean it good. And I wish sometimes they would handle the character a bit better, but maybe the way she stepped up in season 3, season 4 will like be a big improvement. Like Let's see. Wait. Let's wait for the the subtitles to actually reveal what this guy's name is. So hopefully I can remember it correctly. Like I feel like they've given like a New Zealand accent. Oh, Australian or New Zealand. I can tell the difference at times, but without the audio, I can't remember exactly what his voice sounds like. So it's. And they probably just said it, and I looked down and missed it. Okay, so it's Zarkon's a bit of a lame villain, not gonna lie. I do like it in the sense of he is this big, foreboding threat, and he does actually prove his strength. But in a sense, he does come across kind of just like a nothing character at the same time. Like the villain we get for season 3, the fact he so far on a physical level isn't that much of a threat. Yet, at least. Koran, that's the guy's name. This the Voltron that woke up with Princess Ahura. Koran. Okay, so hopefully I won't forget his name if I ever need to refer to him again in this episode at least. But yeah, the season 3 villain, it definitely comes across as like the more worthy villain for Voltron. Or at least maybe like we need like a combination of the two. One that actually can show like the physical strength, was one that has like the intellectual strength to go up against the team. Oh, this character annoys me so much. Just the witch character whose true identity is revealed sort of in season 2, but then entirely in season 3. So I'm not gonna touch on that here for those like who might only have seen the first episode. Like some bits I'll spoil, but there will be like minor spoilers that don't truly affect the rest of the show. But yeah, I just don't like that character. Obviously, it's a character you're not really meant to like, because obviously it's a villain, but you know, everyone ends up liking most of the villains at some point. But that witch character just comes across really annoying. What was it? I was talking about something before and I really got distracted. And that's gonna happen a lot, I know it. So it's flashing here. It's a weird Boba Fett symbol on that. Oh, sorry, yeah, the thing I don't like about the Artanian characters is the mice. I get why the mice are there. They existed in the original show, and obviously they're playing homage to them in this show. But they serve no purpose. Oh, technical difficulties there. That probably really got loud. Testing. Hopefully that hasn't come loose. Is it still going? Click. Yep. Okay, we're still on. Yeah, the mice that are going to show up later, actually there they are right now. We've yet to actually have a reason for them to exist. Like you see, there's 4 of them there, and they all seem to have like, from that shot alone, you'd assume they all have their own character traits that is going to relate to our heroes in some way. But besides from maybe jumping a hole at one point to plug in something that you could easily write an easy thing around, they've done nothing. It's really annoying, to say the least. At least, no, from my perspective at least. But yeah, actually, I assume from everyone, because it's not as if I went and said, "Oh, Hook's annoying because he eats all the time. That's his one joke." While that can get annoying, the character does something in other episodes to redeem said aspect of that character. These mice just don't do anything. and they are just a holdover from a time where it's just like, oh, add a cute animal because that's what you do in shows. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on them because there is nothing else to say on them. So I'll probably say, starting up a new tangent here. Oh, I'm actually not sure who my favourite character is in this. Like every single one of them. I think maybe Hook, probably my least favourites. Go back to like what I was literally just saying. Despite the fact there are like aspects of his character you can't forgive later on. It's like they do pull up the joke too much that like, oh, he just eats. He's the fat one. That's his thing. He doesn't like to fight. That's his other thing. Well, obviously everyone has the thing. That's kind of really can get annoying at times. I think maybe then Pidge. It would have been Keith if not for season 3 because he had the aspects of what happened to Keith's character in season 3 have like really boosted his character in my eyes. So I think Pidge has been put down to 4th place out of the main team at least. Out of the original 5, Hook, Pidge. Oh. No, then Keith. Keith hasn't. It's still got a lot to go to actually improve. Then Lance, then Shiro. No. I think Shiro was definitely. Oh, sorry, my favorite character in the show. I do like pretty much all equally. That's why it is like really hard for me to choose. But I could do like. He really does kind of excel as a leader, even like what happens to him in season 2 and then in season 3 again. Like this, he just goes through all the hardest trials, and for him, mostly ends up coming out losing, which is just heart-wrenching. But the fact that he never really get to him that much. Well, like maybe there'll be ramifications that will show up in season 4 due to the events of season 3, but I do like how he mostly stays completely positive and hopeful of the situation. So yeah, so it's. Where are we up to? Okay, so at this point in the show, they're trying to actually get the lines. Or oh my god, I'm mixing it with Power Rangers again. Not Zords. They're trying to find each individual line. I kind of don't like in the sense of, oh yeah, here's just, we know where they all are. Okay, obviously they've been, Princess Zora and Corbin have been like sleeping there for thousands of years, or however long it's been. So they haven't actually been physically been able to go after them, but it's like, oh yeah, my father sent them off hiding. I know where they are. It's all in the ship's database. Here we go. Clickety click click click. You go there. You go there. You go there. You go there. They always look like they're going to be going to become Pokemon knockoffs at some point. Okay, that's a bit weird. It's like, why would you just? Ideally, this has been a planet that the way they've got carvings everywhere, that maybe the green line is. I assume that's the green line they're going after. The green or black line is revered as the sort of a god in that planet. I wouldn't just go take people to it. I mean, okay, I guess you get a lot of people showing off their own religion and they're proud of it in that sense. It's not. You don't really go and show people Jesus though. Like this is the cross with Jesus on it. Isn't he happy? He died for your sins. He's doing what he loves. It seems a bit weird in that scene. I think I'm also getting a bit tired because my brain's coming up with loopy scenarios. Also, starting to notice voice crackling a bit. Oh joy. Actually, how far are we into this actually? No, what have I done now? No. Okay, sort of a delay, but kind of off sync a bit. Okay, back on. So yeah, we're just about over the halfway point at this point, I think. Yeah, okay, only just though. Unfortunately. Well, only unfortunately for me in the sense that a voice will be definitely broken by the end of this. Oh joy. And I've instantly lost where I was going with that mindset of things I was talking about. Okay, so why was Earth buried and hidden so far down, but all these other planets just like, here's our line, look at it. And the Zarkon Empire just have never come across it before. I get rid of maybe like the kind of far out the region, obviously. Only. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. It's kind of really unprofessional. That only the Paladins can actually get into them. But it just seems a bit odd. And just really easy. That's what I was kind of talking about before. It's like this bit does seem really rushed out. Like, I wouldn't mind. Well, I don't know. This bit seems rushed in the sense of there maybe should have been another episode. Oh, 1 second. Hiya. I'll be right back, guys. Hiya. Mum's went up to the retail park and Dad's just went up to Bell. Sorry about that. And I'm back. So, where was I again? Yeah, I think maybe if they had done another episode, I don't know what they would have filled it with. Yeah, like maybe have one episode, do like a 20-minute episode where they get the green and yellow line. Like spend 11 minutes each on it, or like whatever the length it is, and then the second episode, the red and the black line. It just seems there was a bit of a challenge at first. I don't know. What was they got the blue line pretty easy as well. But maybe it's just the pacing. The pacing of it when they get them getting the blue line seemed a bit better than throwing, like the fact that they're both getting the green and yellow at the same time. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what makes it feel more rushed. If they maybe just paced it out a bit better. I don't know. Still a good show. Still a good episode. It's just that's the only negative thing I've really had about this is, especially when it comes to the pacing, especially later on. The show gets really good pacing in this, but this one just seems really rushed. Okay, gonna have to move the mic so the sound might slightly dipper. Or raise, who knows? So yeah, hopefully this will work now. Oh, sorry, yeah. That's the thing, I was talking about much earlier on in the episode that I kind of got distracted from. I really like how, like in the original, all the lines were just the same except different colours. Like we had the blue one, like if you got the toys, it was just here's the blue one, here's the red one, here's the yellow one, here's the green one, here's the black one. And it's all the same figure, just with different moulds, and maybe like a different pilot figure for each one. But in this one, they actually make each individual line unique. Like I think that just is perfect. It can really differentiate it, and it's. I actually don't know if they actually sell toys for this. I would assume they would, but like obviously I don't look at toy stores anymore. Except for like Funko Pop stuff. That's the only real thing I go after anymore. Oh, that was a bit of a waste. They should have had at least a bit more of an action scene with the yellow line. Oh well, seems a bit odd. And then again, the green line didn't even get. I think that's what it was. There was a sort of action scene with the yellow line, but then the green line was just so easy. It's like a sloth will take me there, and that was it. That was the only challenge. Was maybe the sloth was going to be there or not. Actually, I wonder if Corman was actually in the original. I think he's the only character I haven't seen like what the original design was, if he even existed in it at all. Okay. Oh wait, I keep saying Zarkon Empire. It's the Golra Empire. Zarkon's the Emperor. I guess it still kind of works either way. But oh yes, obviously, it's always confusing. Like Zarkon doesn't look like the rest of the Golras though. Yeah, I thought that was just really weird. But then it is explained that in season 3 he is a Golra. Like I always thought, at least in the first 2 seasons, that he just used them because they were the best labor. Oh god, sorry. Throat decided to shut down a bit then. And yeah, not gonna lie, I actually don't know what I'm talking about with most of this now. I was sort of talking about something then, and my brain decided, you're gonna forget everything instantly. Actually, I don't even remember how they actually get the red and the black line. Obviously, they go out on an adventure to get it. But I just don't seem to recall that part of the episode at all. I remember from the beginning. I remember the yellow, then getting the yellow line, and then them forming Voltron. This whole middle bit, I just don't remember. Obviously, I've seen it. Because thinking back, I do remember the giant sloth that rode them in on the boat, but just pulling up blanks here. We'll go back to the Oh yeah, let's talk about a bit more with the lines. I do like. We were talking about. I like how they made each one actually different. Like, obviously, the biggest one is the black line because it's the leader one, and it's got a jetpack included, which obviously helps with the transformation to make it look more like a head. Hooks is like the second biggest one because it is like more of a tank. And it's got huge grappling claws and like it's meant to be sturdy. Pidgeys is like the smallest one, but it's got the most defense, I think. No, sorry, no, it's not the smallest. But for some, Pidgeys has actually got the most defense one because it actually can form shields. Like it has a shield of its own, and it's actually connected to nature. So it's like each one's got their own powers. I don't think we've actually seen all the powers yet, but we do get some. Keith's is the smallest, but it's the fastest, with like the red line. Lance is kind of just like mostly neutral, like in a sense, like the overall it's like it's not the fastest, it's not the strongest, it's not the most defensive. It's just like the basis of if this was the original, everyone else's would be like Lance's. Oh god. I really need to get a better setup for this. I'm so sorry guys, this is getting loud every now and then because the mic keeps dropping onto the floor with a hard drop as well. So I do apologise so very much. It's a different setup than what we usually do. Usually we record this in Charles's, this is recorded in mine today. I'm mostly just kind of hoping that this setup even works. This is the first attempt we're doing this. So, fingers crossed. I do like the suits actually, and like how each one actually comes with its own weapon. So yeah, so Lance gets a gun. Keith got a shield. I think Pidgeys is more of a dagger slash. I believe it can also be a grappling gun. I believe. Didn't see what Hooks was. Obviously in this one we don't see what Shiro's is yet, but he's got his own weapon in the form of his robotic hand that he gained from the goal rep. Oh, what's Hooks again? That's gonna kill me. But yeah, I like the costume. It is kind of like an actual Power Rangers meets a pilot suit. I think there's something about it. It's just like really cool design about it. Obviously, the one that shows up later, I don't like how they mixed it all around. I said I wouldn't really get into too much, but there is a bit of a mix-up. Not a mix-up in the sense of they've messed up. A mix-up in the sense of like it's part of the story. There is a bit of a change-up with who's actually on the team. But the whole aesthetic kind of gets changed as well, and it doesn't quite. It's a bit weird to say the least. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Actually, I think the biggest rise I actually take away from the show, despite the fact it's most of the Netflix shows are good. Obviously, DreamWorks have got the money to actually put some quality people on it. The team behind it, who actually made like Avatar, they're great. Thing is, there's all good qualities coming in from this. I'll talk about this a bit, but even the cast is great. Like, I'll have to get a list of who's actually in it because they've actually got some names in it, I believe. I can't remember who they are off the top of my head. But like the biggest thing I could really do like about it is it's a show similar to Power Rangers that I'm interested in. Like it for me, I've always had a fascination with the lore of and stuff like this mother story of Power Rangers and Sentai shows similar to Power Rangers. Ever since, like, it's one of my earliest memories is I had a lunchbox with Power Rangers and it had like the Power Rangers fighting the monsters, and they really did look cool. I remember finding a picture years later what the lunchbox actually looked like, and it's a really bad picture. Thinking of like, actually seeing it now, but as a kid, it was the coolest thing. Like a lunchbox depicting a fight scene with these superheroes. That's why the fact I'd never seen the show before, but when I actually did see the show, I didn't like it. For some reason, it wasn't for me. No. Luckily, this is the bit where the mice come in because they need to move that crystal into it, but it's a small hole, and that's all they do. Maybe once a season they'll do that, and that's their gimmick. Hooray! They did a thing, even though they just could have. Someone could have put their arm in. It's like, oh, I can't quite reach, or something like that. Also, they had some weird psychic element to it, despite the fact they never have anything interesting to say, so it's no point of even having a psychic link with them. Ah, those mice just really get on my nerves, but thankfully they barely are in it. They did just kind of just forget about it altogether. But yeah, I'll just get a list of actually who's in this cast, because like some of the names that showed up, I was like, oh, did they play this character? Did they play that character? It's like I was really surprised. Oh, sorry, no, sorry, I really got distracted. I was talking about the fact that it actually really made me interested. It's like I could never get into Power Rangers because it was, even as a kid, it was too silly, it was too goofy. And I could never take it seriously, you know. It's like, this is stupid. Why would these characters do such a stupid gimmicky thing? I'm gonna switch over to Pokemon, but this makes all the sense in the world. Like, I'll switch over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's nothing wrong with that, and everyone has the best decisions there. It was... I think if it was a cartoon, it had more leeway with me, I'd forgive it more. But like I've always sort of been like when the YouTube celebrity Linkara, he released a series of videos a couple of years ago, like when he went through each individual show. Oh wait, so no, pausing. Sorry, no, they did actually gain one of the lines. They just couldn't access it. Okay, so need a bit of a refresh in my memory there. Sorry, go to when Linkara did a series where it was the history of Power Rangers, but the way he presented it was like he presented what the stories were as fact, and didn't, when someone's actually telling you what's actually going on in the episode and you don't get all the silly goofiness and the distractions from the filler plots that don't go anywhere and the silly goofy jokes and sound effects and silly music. They do actually have really good stories that they're trying to tell over a 60 episode arc or whatever, however long those shows go on for. But this one, it's like, they've always been similar shows, but I've always put them in the same vein of it's too gimmicky, it's too goofy. What are they trying to get at here, kind of thing. This one I got instantly, and I instantly just like loved it. And like that's like the greatest thing I took away from this. Like, finally, this is a mech show where I can be invested. And once again, it's a cartoon, so I give it a lot more leeway, despite its goofier moments. So yeah, gonna look up the cast now. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, just checking they're actually the right people. Okay, it's mainly 3 characters overall that really stood out for me when I actually really looked at who the cast was. Well, apparently Lance is played by the guy who plays Finn in Adventure Time. That really doesn't mean anything to me. I hate Adventure Time. So, but then Keith is played by the guy who plays Glenn in The Walking Dead, which I wouldn't have guessed. Like, I even forgot that now, after not that long ago watching season 3. Paige is played by Bex Taylor Klaus, who showed up in the Screen TV show, which, despite the fact that it's really goofy, actually sort of, to me that was my Riverdale. Sense of, yeah, I know this is bad, but it's entertainingly bad. And like this Bex Taylor Klaus who plays Paige is like, I really wouldn't have guessed. Like, obviously that kind of revealed like what I thought about Paige originally. But factor I actually didn't look up who the cast was till after I'd already seen season 1. Then we've got Josh Keaton as Shiro, who Josh Keaton played Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man, who is personally my favourite one. Out of, the same way people say Kevin Conroy's the best Batman, even comparing him to the live action ones, and same way they do Mark Hamill with the Joker. For me, Josh Keaton's Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. And then yeah, I don't think I really recognise anyone else from this. Oh wait, Hunk's played by one of the guys from Tuck and Dale. Which one's which though? I need to look up who. In the film Tuck and Dale vs. Evil, it's a comedy horror film, but mostly a comedy film. It's actually one of my favourite films of all time. It's yeah, he's one of the lead characters. The other, should we just say who's who off the top there? Oh yeah, he plays Dale, and then Alec Tudyk plays Tucker. And so I sort of recognise his face from this picture that I've looked up online. Yeah, but none of the others. I probably recognise their voice from other stuff they've done, but I think it was mainly Josh Keaton, Bex Taylor Klaus, Stephen Yeun, and then this Tyler Labine, who was Dale. As soon as I saw they were actually on the cast list and like looked up what they were in, kind of saw them, it's like, oh, it's got a great cast as well. Like, the only one obviously out of the main 5 is like the guy who is Lance's voice actor. I didn't know who he was because obviously he's done shows that I'm not a fan of. Not his fault. He's actually, no, I said Lance is like my second favourite character. If he had an annoying voice, I'd hate him. He wouldn't be that high. Like, everyone in the show does a great job. So yeah, I think we're drawing closer to the end now with the. Wait. Are they actually good? Do they do it at this point? So this is like mainly like the big fan. Obviously, spoiler alert, they're gonna make Voltron in this. The Alliance will confuse to make Voltron, and obviously setting up that they're still having issues controlling the lions. I'm actually gonna probably rewatch this episode as soon as I finish recording this, just to get it actually, because I do feel like I've actually forgotten a lot of this. Like I'd forgotten that the Gora already had the red line. I forgot that the black line was already in their base. It was really only the green and yellow one they had to go after. Which in that case, why that really doesn't mean. I feel like they at least should have got their own episode each then. There we go. Now we're gonna get Voltron. Okay, now despite the way this is a cool effect, I always wondered, like, they always fly off to do this, but the way this, like, do they actually always fly off into space? It's like, we have to battle on this planet. Excuse us while we go up into space. You guys wait there while we do this. We'll be right back. It's interesting. It's actually the weakest form of Voltron we're actually going to get as well, because pretty much every time they form them, at least for most of the time, they actually gain. They unlock a new skill. And like a new power up kind of thing to sell more toys, despite the fact I'll actually really do need to look up if they actually do sell toys. So guys, let's just send a message to my co-host Charles. Jeez. Oh my god! Sorry, I still had the cast list open. No wonder Corbin's one of my favourite characters. He's played by Rhys Darby, who, to anyone who has seen a Taika Waititi film, so far he's the main two out. So far, the only two I've actually seen of his What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People. Action, the really good comedy films for both of them. That's why I'm really excited for Thor Ragnarok, because obviously he's the one directing it. Rhys Darby is a New Zealand actor who's showed up in both of them. Yeah. He played the alpha werewolf in What We Do in the Shadows, and then he plays the crazy hillbilly goes out in the woods in What We Do in Hunt for the Wilder People. Oh, I actually wonder. Quick diversion, but it's still big screen heroes related. I'll actually see if he's been confirmed. If he's going to show up in a. No, so far it doesn't look like he's going to be in Thor Ragnarok, which is actually a real shame. I would have liked to just see him just for a cameo, but according to this, he will be in Jumanji 2. So, it's interesting. And it doesn't even look like he's playing anyone important, because his name is really low down on the bottom there. So yeah, and that complete distraction actually distracted me from the end of the episode there. I'm sorry guys, that was... Well, that last bit actually went pretty quick actually. Once they actually gathered the lines, I thought that was going to take a lot longer than it was. But, yeah. That was... I got my screen episode 2's already just started. Like, because obviously I've got it linked up that they'll just play the next episode immediately after. So yeah, actually wasn't that bad as I thought it would be. Wish I had a bit more material to work off, and obviously it would be a lot better with a co-host to work like jokes into with. Like this was a bit more of a fact-based one, a bit of a personal history of Mark and what he likes and dislikes about some shows. Not all shows, but just some. Actually, I didn't have time to actually discuss my opinions on Netflix as a whole, but maybe we'll get to talk about that again soon. Because The Defenders is out, and we'll might do an episode on Dead. Oh my god. Not even at the end I can get my words out. Maybe at some point, maybe next week, hopefully, if we can get an episode out in time for next week, might consider doing the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie in time for the Nettflix Defenders TV show. There. That wasn't that hard. Why did it take me so long to actually say that? So yeah, I don't think there's actually too much more I really need to say now. It's not really... Usually me and Charles would have a bit of a banter at the end. Not much can do. So yeah, so I'm actually gonna... Yeah, the quicker I end this, the quicker we can actually get this out. Yeah, so hopefully I might do a few more solo ones if they work out as good as this one. Obviously this one has to come out like this because the only way we can actually get an episode out in time, but I might do a few test ones, and if they come out alright, I might release them. But yeah, obviously, assume if you're watching this on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind giving a like and subscribe. You don't have to, but it helps. Don't know how it helps, but it does. If you want to give a comment and feedback, maybe suggest some episodes we could do in the future, you can do that at the bottom. You can like our Twitter, even follow our Twitter even. Let me just see if I can get the actual address up. I believe we're just at Big Screen Heroes, but I want to 100% confirm this. Hopefully next time my voice will be better. Well, debatable. Yeah, we're on Twitter, we are at Big Screen Heroes. If you'd like to follow us there, we'll post links to all our episodes, and then we post any behind the scenes stuff that's if something interesting's going on. There never usually is, but you know, we do. You can follow my Twitter at Captain Dingy. That's CPTNDIGN. Oh, I'll just link that one at the bottom. I've spelt it all weird. And then through that you can also find Charles, whose thing I can't recall what at the moment. Killing time. Yeah, at CKingy91 you can follow Charles at, if you preferred his style a lot more. I can imagine you would. Mine's more of a bounce off style comedy. But yeah, I've killed enough time, said all the things we need to say, gave maybe a potential tease of what next week's episode might be. And yeah, next week should hopefully back to the basics of two people giving comedic jokes and all whatnot. So, from Big Screen Heroes, this is Mark, signing off.